Getting all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel. Now, I do want to address the elephant in the room right away. Yes, this is a different camera. It's a different camera angle. Apparently, my USB connection in my original camera, which, funny enough, I have it right here. This is the camera, if you ever wondered. It's just a little cheap little camera that I've been using for all of my videos at this angle, as you know. Instead, now you're at this angle. This is the camera that I use. And the little USB connector in the back here broke. So I can't plug the camera into the computer and get the usual recordings that I get. And also, it charges my camera in the computer while I use it. And now that I can't do that, the batteries are all dead. Basically, and I don't have another way to charge them because the thing that I use to charge them, which is right here, this is the little USB battery charging pack thing that I use, that is also not charging the batteries. I charged a couple of them like all night and they didn't actually charge, so that's fun. So now I have to use my backup camera, which is for like, I don't know, like Zoom meetings or whatever I might need it for at this angle. But there's a reason this is the backup camera, and now I have to use it as my main camera. So hopefully it works. It might actually be even clearer of a picture. I know that the light is from the ceiling is kind of like shining on it. I'll try to do some like cropping to make it not as bad, because what I'm looking at right now looks kind of bad. So hopefully it doesn't look bad in the video. I apologize. I'm going to try my best and as quick as possible to get either a new camera or get some different connections to make it work. But again, that costs money, and I'm pretty thin on the green stuff at the moment. So we'll see what happens. But for right now, until further notice, the videos you will see are, as long as I can get this to work, they're either going to be without a camera at all, or they're going to be this angle. So I apologize. I didn't want this to happen, trust me. But there's nothing I can really do about it except for try to get some different cables to connect it to the computer and get another charging pack and all that kind of... It's a lot of stuff that you don't care about. So hopefully it doesn't bother you too much. If it does, I apologize. Just let me know in the comments down on the video, and I will just not have a camera. We'll go back to the old school days where I didn't have a camera. But I just wanted to address that right out the gates so that you're not wondering, did Juice change his camera? Why does it look worse? I don't know if it looks worse. I have to see it in editing, but here we are. So after all that's been now discussed, let's get into the actual video. So today is Season 5, Episode 5 of the Patriots Dynasty, the New England Patriots Dynasty. Last episode, I think we actually made the playoffs, right? I'm pretty sure we did. So the boys are here. Like the team has finally arrived. Now, are we going to make that run? Because we've only got 5 episodes left. It's only a 10-year dynasty. So we need to win Super Bowls like yesterday. So hopefully we can start winning championships in this episode if we want to, in fact, build that dynasty that the whole series is titled after. We're going to try to. I think we have a great team. I think we have a team that's capable of winning a championship this year. I guess we'll just have to find out and see how the simulation gods cut us some slack. Maybe. I don't know. Knowing me, they probably hate me as much as I hate them, so they're not going to give me any wins. It's going to be a winless season. That's probably not going to happen. But I do think we have a team that can win a championship. We just actually have to go out there and get the simulation in our favor and actually win the championship. So hopefully that happens. We got to see some more development from Drake Maye. He is starting to become like that top tier quarterback, but I need to see him take that even next step so that he can actually become like the greatest quarterback in the NFL right now, past Patrick Mahomes and all those guys. So that's the goal for Drake Maye. I think he can get there. We just have to have some good simulation luck. and some good morale boost to get him up higher and higher. So we'll see what happens with all that. And the last thing is, ever since I started doing these 10-year dynasties, every video or every series that I've done the 10-year dynasty on, I have won at least one championship. So hopefully, that doesn't just end with this one. I have never failed a 10-year dynasty. I've always won at least one. There are a couple times where I've gotten close. The Arizona Cardinals a couple of years ago was probably the closest. Oh, it has to be the closest because I got the championship in the final year, in year number 10. So that is the closest I've ever come to failing the 10-year dynasty of winning at least one championship. And you can't even call that a dynasty. It's just one championship. But it's still a success because I won at least one title in the 10 years. So we have to win at least one, but I want to win at least 3 or 4. That's a dynasty, right? The 3 is the cutoff, the least amount you can win to be considered a dynasty. So we have to do that. We only have 5 episodes left, not including this one. So we got to get the job done very soon. It's going to take some time, but I think we have the team finally at the right overalls to actually get the job done. If we made the playoffs last year, it's only up from here. So let's get into it. If you enjoy the video, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Again, I apologize for the camera. It's nothing I can do at this point. I just got to kind of wait it out and see what happens. So I apologize, but let's get into the video. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's go see how Season 5 gets underway for the Patriots. And yes, you will be seeing me from this angle because I'm looking at this screen and you're over here now. Usually it's just straight on. It's not how it is now, so, or at least for the moment. So get used to seeing my side angle. Although you saw it from this side for a long time when the camera was over here and I was looking this way. So it's just the reverse of what you've been seeing for years. So here we go. We are arriving at season number 5. Let's take a look at this team because, like I mentioned in the intro, we are a playoff caliber team, but are we a Super Bowl caliber team? I don't know. Running back is a little bit iffy. I will just go out and admit that right now. The running back position is a little bit iffy, but I think Blanton can become a good running back if he's just given the right stuff. Drake Maye's an 86 overall. He's playing really well. The offensive line I'm liking a lot. We've got a really solid offensive line. And we could be seeing the debut of Green, who I think we got in a trade a couple of years ago. I'm not actually 100% sure how we got him. I think it was a trade. But I know he was a low overall, but he's developed into a 77 overall up to a 78 with the morale. And he could take over for either Sheldon or Haas at any point. So we got to keep an eye out for him. We also have Montgomery as a backup. We've got a decent amount of backups. We could still use some extra backup offensive linemen, preferably like tackles, backup tackles. But for right now, we have a good depth of offensive linemen. We have 2 really, really good tight ends. We have obviously great wide receivers. We have 4 really, really good ones, plus Saucedo, who is a youngster, who I think could be pretty good. He just doesn't have a development trait. And obviously Drake Maye. And then on defense might be the best defense we've put together because it has Biddle and it has Bennett, who are both really, really awesome. We drafted Newhouse in the offseason. We drafted Davis in the offseason, who hopefully will be good replacements for either Uche or Walker. Probably Uche, since he's only 5 overall lower than him. But we also have Greer, who could replace him. I don't know. We have a good amount of depth. I like the way that our depth has come together. The defensive line depth is a little thin still. We have Clifford, but that's about it. The cornerback room is good enough. We drafted Bennett and we have Van Buren, who can take over for Marcus Jones. Bennett's probably going to pass Marcus Jones this season. You know what? I might just even put him above Marcus Jones already because he's going to pass him at any moment. He's only 1 overall lower than him, so he's going to pass him at any moment. So we might as well just have him up there. We have Elliott playing free safety now instead of Jabril Peppers because Jabril Peppers is getting a little bit older, so he's going to start regressing. Even he already has. We've got Mapu, and then we also have Bennett playing backup strong safety. So we'll see what happens. I like the team. Obviously, we were a playoff team last year, so we should be a playoff team again this year. Our playbooks, I'm not even sure what we're running at this point. We are running San Francisco and Baltimore. Okay, I think that's going to be good. I'm going to change the scheme fits so that we're running as high of a percentage as possible. 62%. They have us running 84, but we can have a 96 on a 4-6 defense. You know what? If we've got the scheme fit, why not run it? 4-6 defense. What does that change the defensive lineup to? Is there anything that I want to switch? now that we've changed it. Okay, so now we're running with 2 down linemen. Or 2 defensive tackles. I don't necessarily like that as much. I kind of like having Nick Bolton and Biddle play at the same time. But, I mean, it said we had a 96% scheme fit, so obviously we're doing things right. And Ford is a scheme fit, even though he is a low overall. Maybe this will give him the chance to turn into a great player. Or maybe I turn Clifford into he's 6'6", 299. That's not really a D tackle, but it's Madden, so it doesn't necessarily matter. Maybe I could turn him into a D tackle and he could play. He turns into a 76, so he's even a higher overall at D tackle. So maybe Clifford and Bennett will be a nice 1-2 punch. I don't know. We'll find out. Because I'm going to simulate to the halfway point of the year, and hopefully we are off to a really, really good start. We got to get the draft class loaded in here. Almost forgot about that. Get the draft class loaded in. Looks like there's a quarterback at the top. A lot of quarterbacks at the top. We don't obviously need a quarterback, but we could use defensive line, that's for sure. Or outside linebacker, or corner, or safety, or whatever it may be. Probably don't need any offensive stuff unless it's a running back. But like I said, this running back could end up being something, you never know. So I'm going to simulate to the halfway point of the year. We'll hopefully be off to a good start, and then we can do all the scouting stuff. So I'll see you guys at week number 8. Okay, we've made it to week number 8, which means we can start doing a little bit of scouting. We're currently sitting at 4-3, so seems like we've gotten out to a shaky start, a little bit more shaky than I would have preferred. But Drake Maye's seeing some good development. The rookie, or I don't know if he's a rookie. Is he a rookie? Brian Blanton, he's a second-year guy. Brian Blanton sees some negative morale, but he is getting some playtime and getting some upgrades, I think, at least, because he's a higher overall than what he started with, so I'll take that. Offensive line seems to be doing okay. Defensively, Clifford's gone up a little bit, even though he is normal development. If he has a good enough season, he could be star right away. And it seems like we're starting to turn things around. At least I hope we are. We got back-to-back wins from what I can see at the top, so that's nice. Let's do some scouting, though. That's why we stopped it here, so let's take a look at some scouting. So it's wide receiver, quarterback, and right tackle. We still have defensive end and D tackle as our expertise. I'm going to continue to have that because we need to get defensive linemen to have more depth. So I'm going to scout defensive linemen. Even though it's not the strength of the class, I'm just going to hope that we can have some good players in there. Negotiations, $20 million, and Drake Maye's contract is finally up. That is a little scary. There are some good players here that I want to bring back. I want to bring back Josh Greer. I want to bring back Sheldon. I want to bring back Barmore. Obviously, I want to bring back Paul Green. Darius Robinson I want to bring back. And obviously, we need to bring back Drake Maye. But we don't have near enough cap space to be able to do that. So that is going to be a little bit of a challenge. I don't really know how that's going to work. Let's get to week 13 and see what happens with the rest of the season here. We'll figure out all the negotiations a little bit later. We're probably going to have to do some restructuring. We are on a little bit of a win streak, though. We are turning it around here with the San Francisco playbook. Montgomery gets an upgrade point. He's probably going to take over for Sheldon at some point. Maybe we just let Sheldon go and have Montgomery start next year. I don't know, but this is going to be a tough game against the Buffalo Bills. I don't know what's going to happen here. They are 8-1, but we beat them 19-7. Let's go, boys. That's what I'm talking about. Another tough game against the Cincinnati Bengals, 8-2 Cincinnati. How is this going to work? It is a victory. Oh, my God. This Patriots team is on fire right now. This Patriots team is on literal fire. You love to see it. This is what I'm talking about, baby. Can we keep it up with the Jets? Final game of the simulation. They're only 2-9, so I would expect this to be a win, but this would be where Madden screws me, but they don't. We blew out the Jets 45-7, 9-3. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's the simulation luck that I needed, that I was talking about at the beginning of the episode. Looks like we are actually getting that. We currently sit as the number 1 seed in the AFC. Bengals are still better, and so are the Chiefs, but there is hope. If they slip up a little bit, we're right behind them. They're 9-2, we're 9-3. So like it's a battle. It is not anywhere near over. But we got a focus player scout here. And let's take a look at some of these top guys. We could always use tackle, but if we're going to be in the playoffs, we're not going to have that great of a draft pick. So we got to be a little bit more careful about that. Unless I want to trade up, which is always possible. We're scouting defensive ends. I'm always going to scout a corner, Phillip Erving, especially when they're at the top of the class. There could be a good wide receiver on the board. This guy actually, Julius Moss, maybe the next Randy, although he's not tall, he's 5'8". But I definitely want to scout him, and maybe we want to scout a possible free safety option, Trayvon Walton. I'm going to scout those 3 guys, and hopefully all 3 of them are going to be pretty good. So now, what's all left to do is to simulate to the end of the season and see how this team finishes out. I could just, you know what? I think I'm going to restructure the contracts now, get these guys under contract, and then I don't have to worry. So let's go to the team's salaries and let's restructure the contracts we can restructure. We can't do Chris Olave or Aquanu. Well, this is already off to a bad start. We can't restructure any of these high contracts. The first one we can do is Christian Gonzalez. So I guess we'll restructure his. We can't do Nick Bolton's. We can't do Barmore's. We can't do Bennett. We can't do Drake Maye, obviously. Can't do Quay Walker. Can we only do one? Are we going to be in trouble? We're going to be in big time trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We can't do any of the massive expensive contracts, but we can do Marte Mapu, which is going to free up like $2 million or something. Uche, no. Polk, we can do. This is not going to be good. I was hoping and banking on the fact that we could be able to restructure some of those very, very expensive contracts that we have. But we might as well take advantage of all the ones that we can do. Some of these super cheap ones down here. Well, not super cheap in terms of the money that they're making. Cheap in terms of the money that we're freeing up. That was only $100K. So we're not really getting the benefit of the luck here, are we? Caleb Farley, we can't do much. Okay, so that's pretty much all we can do at this point. But was that enough to even do anything? It freed up $14 million. Or actually, is that lower than what we had? That's actually lower. We had $20 million, right? And now we have $14 million? Well, that's bad. We just lost out on some money. I didn't realize that. Well, we're going to find out what happens in the offseason. It could be bad for us. This could be a very, very bad situation for us where we just we have negative money. We can't bring back Drake Maye. That would be a bad situation. I don't really want that to happen, but we're going to find out. I'm going to simulate to the end of the year, and we are going to hopefully make the playoffs as maybe the number 1 seed. Maybe the Bengals and Chiefs slip up, or hopefully we don't slip up. That would be really, really bad if we did. I'm hoping we can get some good stuff happening here. I'll see you guys the end of this season. Okay, so we got to the end of the year, and somehow, on sheer luck, I would think, we won 14 games, which means we were, in fact, the 1 seed. The Bengals had a little bit of a slip-up, so did the Chiefs, but the Ravens really came back and were fighting for the 1 seed. They were trying to battle us, but we really, really dominated. And I like it. I like the fact that we really, really dominated. I'm happy because I wanted this to happen. And it looks like Drake Maye really took to the San Francisco playbook again. 4,100 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions is a phenomenal, phenomenal season from Drake Maye. Brian Blanton didn't really do much. 700 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's not fantastic, but he is a very low overall, and that's what you kind of expect from a low overall running back in Madden. Chris Olave dominated, 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns, but everybody else kind of just was there. I mean, Chris Olave was the favorite target for Drake Maye, which is not a bad thing. I paid for Chris Olave to come to the team. I want him to be the number 1 guy, and it looks like he is. Then defensively, 110 tackles from Kareem Biddle, so it looks like he really benefited from switching to the 4-6 defense. Nick Bolton did get on the field a lot, but he only had 84 tackles, 73 from Bennett, 66 from Gonzalez. 18 tackles for loss for Carl Bennett. Love to see that. Sack leader was Carl Bennett again with 10.5, 9 for Barmore, 7 for Quay Walker. Darius Robinson had 5.5. Darius Robinson really hasn't turned into the guy that I thought he would, I guess is the best way to say that. Bolton, as the backup middle linebacker, had 4 picks. Okay. Marcus Jones had 3, 2 for Bennett and 2 for Christian Gonzalez, and 1 for Biddle and Mapu. Very awesome. Very, very awesome. And somehow we were winning games. It had to have been a little bit of both the offense and the defense, not just one team dominating. But, I mean, we are a 92 defense, so I'm assuming that is probably why we won a lot of our games. Let's advance, though. We've got divisional round action. Is this going to be the win? It is. AFC Championship against the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a good team, to say the least. They are a very, very tough team, but it is in Foxborough. We don't have to go to Arrowhead. This is a classic rivalry. Patriots versus Chiefs. Brady versus Mahomes, but now it's Mahomes versus Drake Maye. Can we get it done? We've got home field advantage. It might be snowing. It's definitely going to be cold. Let's go see if we can use the home field advantage to our advantage. I was, in fact, correct. It is a winter wonderland here in Foxborough. And we are down 7-0. Now it's 7-7. We need to use this to our advantage. Yes, the Chiefs play in Kansas City, which is also very cold in December and January, but we have the advantage. It's our place. It's our field. It's our crowd. Even though it is Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, they are very scary. It's 14-10, 21-10 in the fourth quarter. I don't like this one bit. Can I jump in here and get the job done? 21-10. This is our best chance to start the dynasty. I mean, I've talked about in the past how we have to get it started at some point. This is our best chance to do that. That's a wild throw, knocked incomplete. That really, I thought I turned off that stupid tutorial thing. I don't know why it's on. It shouldn't even be on. We're in all Madden. The tutorial stuff shouldn't be on. If we go to game options, we're on all Madden, so I don't know why the tutorial is on. I don't even know how to turn the tutorial off. I was having problems with that in the other video I was doing, but I turned it off. Like, the on-field trainer is off. That's the tutorial stuff, right? I'm pretty sure. Receiver, visual assist, driver. This whole stuff is just normal. Here's coaching tips. I guess coaching tips is what I need to have off. Maybe I forgot to turn that off.
Menu narration.
I don't know. Now we're getting menu narration. Yeah, I guess coaching tips is off. I don't know why that was ever on in the first place. It was never on before. I wouldn't have turned it on. I don't know. Maybe there's an update and it just turned it on for some reason. I have no idea. Hopefully it doesn't come back on. 28-10. It looks like we might be losing to the Kansas City Chiefs here. Polk with a nice catch and run. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. It's going to be almost impossible to win this football game, I would have to think. But maybe it can happen. You never know. Or at home in our own building, miracles can happen, especially when you got a deep ball to Chris Olave. CO2 with the catch. Good throw from Drake Maye. It could have been a little bit of a better throw, but it's still a catch. I can't even see the goal line here. We do have to score fairly quickly. Drake Maye sacked by Finney. I thought that I was going to have the time to be able to hit that whip route. I did not have the time. I, in fact, did not have the time. Back in the end zone, Olave! Knocked incomplete. Why did that look so open, and then it ended up being the farthest thing from being open? That looked like it was booty cheek naked. Gonna have to go underneath. It's Douglas. Demario Douglas gets 4th and goal, but obviously we have to go for this. I'm wasting a lot of time here with not getting these touchdowns. We're gonna go out here, turn up the field. Silvers touchdown. A minute to go. I don't think that's gonna be. I don't think we scored quick enough, unfortunately. And it is. They're gonna do the kneel down. It is over. 28-17. We're going to lose on the road or at home against Kansas City. It's unfortunate. It really is. I was hoping the dynasty would start now. Looks like we're going to have to wait another episode for the dynasty to hopefully begin. We lose to the Kansas City Chiefs at home, 28-17. That's a tough one, but Drake Maye just wasn't ready yet. But at least we're making progress. We're showing the progress. We made the playoffs for the first time in the last episode. Now we make the AFC Championship this year. Next episode, we should see that progression take even further, and hopefully we go to the Super Bowl and win it. But unfortunately, we do not win this game. We got our contract extended, but that's okay. We will move on. And now we got the more important thing. We didn't win the championship this year. Didn't even make the Super Bowl. But now we got to hope to bring back Drake Maye. Because if we don't bring back Drake Maye in this episode, we will be really set back. Like, I'm not even kidding. We will be super, super set back because we have no backup plan at quarterback. It was going to be Drake Maye the entire time, and I have no idea what's going to happen. Absolutely no idea. We might have to trade away people and free up money just to bring Drake Maye back, and we might have to lose everybody else. That's a very viable possibility. It looks like Bryce Young ends up beating the Chiefs and gets the Super Bowl. Gerard Mayo won Coach of the Year. That's nice, but we don't win any other awards, and Mahomes wins MVP of the league. Good for Bryce Young. He stopped He stopped the Chiefs from winning another Super Bowl. Who knows? Maybe Bryce would have beat us too. And that leaves us with $8 million in available cap, which is by no means a chance to get Drake Maye back. And that is a very, very unfortunate situation. You know, we do have a backup. That Bacon dude, did I draft him? I'm pretty sure I drafted him, right? Let me go take a look. Because Drake Maye, I want Drake Maye here. I really do. But we have this guy, Dan Bacon. I think I drafted him. He's got 94 throw power, not any speed. He looks like he could simulate pretty well. He's got good awareness. Oh, I don't want to get rid of Drake Maye though. That's the problem. I don't want to lose Drake Maye, but we might have to. Unless I can somehow find the money to bring him back. If I were to trade people, what's our biggest savings? We would save $11 million if we cut Nick Bolton, but we'd also incur a big penalty, so I can't do that. And then really nobody else makes that much of a difference. So this is out of the question. We can't get rid of anybody here. I don't know what to do. If I'm being honest, I don't know what to do. Chris Olave is too much money. We can't. Oh, we can restructure. Oh, this might be our saving grace. This might be our saving grace. I think it flipped over for the season, so we can restructure these big contracts. This could be the saving grace. I didn't realize that it would flip like that. Flip. This could be our saving grace for the year. We might be able to push back the panic until next episode, but hopefully we'll get a Super Bowl next episode, so it won't be as bad of an impact. I'm just going to restructure as many contracts as I physically can so that we can bring everybody that I want back. Because I want Darius Robinson back. I want, obviously, Drake Maye back. Drake Maye is going to be priority number 1. So we're going to hope that I freed up enough money there to just offer him a contract and accept it. We've got $44 million. Please, Drake, please. We got to get him locked up for the rest of the video, or the rest of the series. So Drake Maye. And he wants to be back too. That really helps. Drake Maye's coming back. Thank God. But now I've got to prioritize somebody else. So Darius Robinson might not be able to come back. But Paul Green certainly has an opportunity to come back. If we get him on a 5-year deal, that would take us to the rest of the series. And I've got to pay him a little bit extra because he doesn't want to be back. But he is going to come back. So Paul Green comes back. Barmore, I don't know. I think we're going to let Sheldon go because we have the backup anyway. There's a lot of guys here that I want back, but I just don't know if we have the available money to do so. I'm in a tough situation here. We can't bring back Barmore with the money that we have left. Sheldon, we can barely do it. Uche, we can probably do Green. Yeah, we can do, or Josh Greer, excuse me. We can do Josh Greer. So if I want to bring back Josh Greer, I can, but that would be the last guy that I can offer. It'd probably be smart to bring him back. So I think I'm going to do that. We're going to bring Josh Greer back. 4-year deal. 2.5, and probably 2. So that'll get Josh Greer back. But the rest of these guys, I'm going to maybe try to trade. Maybe we can get something back in return for them. So let's try that. I'm going to send Darius Robinson out on his own because I think he could earn a decent stuff by himself. So we're going to send Darius Robinson away, and we're going to try to bring back another defensive end in his place. Bears don't have anybody. We could just do straight up Alani McCollum. I think I remember scouting him. That name sounds familiar. He's got superstar development, and I want to go on somebody. I'd prefer to get somebody who's already done with their rookie contract and is on a new contract, but not like an expensive one. I don't know if that's going to be what we can find, unfortunately. We could go Ben Hansen. He's got 3 years left. That would at least possibly give us a chance to free up some money. We maybe go Ben Hansen. But then can I bring in somebody else? Maybe Mitchell Moore on the other side? How about a D-tackle? Do they have a D-tackle for me? They got Avery Fields. He's not very highly rated. What do you have for me? You got Tremaine Oliver at 67 overall. You got Ethan Meeks. What about corner? You've got no star development corners except for Jerry and Jones and Tyson Campbell. The Jaguars are not coming up clutch, are they? Maybe you give me Ethan Meeks. This is probably not going to go through. Oh, I can't do it because it would take me over the salary cap if I add in both of these guys. So it looks like I might have to do just draft picks, unfortunately. How about you give me your next 2 second-round picks plus Ben Hansen? Okay, they don't like that at all. They don't like that either. Is it just going to be a 1-for-1? Oh my God. They don't want Darius Robinson? They value Ben Hansen that much? I guess they would. I mean, it makes sense why they would. I was just hoping that they wouldn't think about that. Who was the other team that had the guy? I think it was like the Commanders or something, wasn't it? No. It was the... Was it the Cardinals? It was. No, it wasn't the Cardinals. It was the Buccaneers. It was a red team, I think, right? Or was it the Bills? Who was it? Oh, it was the Bengals with Alani McCollum. Do they value Alani McCollum? Oh my God. Okay. So we got Alani McCollum for Darius Robinson straight up. I didn't really think that was going to go through. I thought it was going to be a similar situation to the Jaguars. But we get Alani McCollum now. He can go and replace right away, replace Darius Robinson. But now we need to trade away everybody else who was up for a contract. So I think it was Barmore, who we couldn't bring back. It was Landon Sheldon. And it was... Who else was it? Saucedo was in there, I know that. But I think there was somebody else. It was Barmore and Sheldon. Was it Uche? It might have been Uche. What can we get for this package? This is kind of a crazy package here. We can get some old X Factor players. I don't really want that. The cap space here is kind of crazy, actually. There's not many teams that can take on these contracts. But we could send them to Denver. Does Denver have anybody? They have the 2nd overall pick. Do they have anybody that's under contract for a while that I could take? They have a tight end. Do they have... How's their cornerback room looking other than PS2? They've got this guy, Brian Harper. How about you throw me Brian Harper? And do you have a linebacker that I could use? You have Tui Peloto, which is kind of interesting. He's a superstar development player. How about you throw me Tui Peloto? I'll take Tui Peloto. How's that? No? Okay. What about you just give me Tui Peloto? Okay, they don't like that either. I don't think I'm going to be able to get Tui Peloto. I tried. I don't know if it's going to be successful. How about you give me the 2nd overall pick? Okay, I didn't think that was going to work, but how about you give me a 2nd and a 3rd this year? Ooh, okay, that's a little bit better. I could do this. This could work. I could give you a 3rd round pick in 2031. And that is very, very close. How about a 4th round pick in 2030? Very close. How about a 5th round pick this year? Even closer. I bet I could do a 4th this year, but that's about as high as I want to go this year. Trade offer accepted. So Barmore, Uche, and a couple draft picks gets us a 2nd and 3rd this year. But crucially, those are the 2nd picks of each round. So that'll help us out. Who was the other guys left up? Sheldon, Proctor, Saucedo. I don't think these guys are going to be able to get us anything. Unfortunately. I don't think they're going to be able to get us anything too crazy. I'll throw them in a trade and see what happens. I'm just happy we were able to get Drake Maye back. That's really the biggest thing. So we toss Sheldon. We toss the tight end, Proctor. And then we toss Saucedo in a trade. There's no trade packages. That's okay. I guess we could look for offensive linemen. Maybe there's some offensive linemen that are cheap. Let's see. That guy's not cheap at all. I thought for a second that I was reading the cap space wrong. I almost made a big mistake there. Well, I mean, it wouldn't have worked anyway. They probably wouldn't even have given it to me. There is a star development left tackle right here. Maybe that's possible. Although I can't do this because he's a little bit more expensive than I would prefer. Oh. I guess I have to give up somebody a little bit more expensive. Do I have anybody? I mean, this is pretty wild to give up a guy that I don't necessarily need to trade. No, I'm not gonna do it. That's stupid. That's very, very stupid to do that. I almost made another big stupid error. We don't need to trade guys for a 60. Just because you got superstar development doesn't mean anything. So let's just try to get some draft picks. Maybe I can acquire the draft picks back that I just traded away. Maybe I can do such things. How about you give me that stuff? Trade offer accepted. Okay, so we're able to get a fourth. We send away some guys. We get some extra draft picks for next year. And a draft pick for this year. That should be everybody. All right, let's go to the actual draft. We got Drake Maye back. We got a new defensive end in McCollum who ends up being a superstar, so maybe he can develop. Who knows? But Drake May's back. Blanton is our only running back now at this point. We might need to draft one. And then defensively, we add in McCollum now. We have a big need at defensive end other than McCollum. But Davis is now superstar. I think he might have always been superstar. He just had a hidden development. Well, that's awesome. That really helps us out. I'll take that. So we need to draft probably a running back and a defensive end. Those are probably the two biggest holes that we have on the team. Although Blanton's a fine running back. He's not like bad or anything. He's just not a dev trait player, and he's not highly rated. He could end up becoming that, but not right now. All right, let's get to the draft. Let's get to the draft. We also could use some offensive line depth too, like I always talk about. Okay, so we got the defensive ends. The corner's top 5. That kind of frustrates me because I was hoping that there wouldn't be. This wide receiver's top 5 as well, Julius Moss. Okay. Why do you have to be top 5? Because now I want to draft you. 4.29 speed? Are you kidding me? Oh my God, why does he have to be... Why does he have to be a top 5 player? The defensive ends, it's not a good defensive end class, is it? There might be somebody that we can find, but it is not that good of a class. Why does there have to be a top 5? I hate it here. I'm going to scout Isaiah Kramer. I'm going to scout Brian Smith. And I'm going to scout probably one of these centers, the top center in the class. We'll see what happens. I need to see what this mock draft has, that's for sure. I need to see where this mock draft has us drafting, and then if we need to trade up or anything. That's what I need to find out. We're probably going to need to trade up because I doubt that Julius Moss is going to be projected to go to us. We're going to be picking in the very high 20s, so I doubt that Julius Moss is going to be that low down the board. Okay, so yeah, Julius Moss is number 4 overall. I don't know if that's viable for us. We are picking at number 30. We're picking at number 30. We could trade up. It'd take us a long time to get up there, but we could do it. It's been done before. I've done it before, but I just don't... I mean, Julius Moss is probably a freak of a player, but I don't think it's really the right idea to do that. So we're just going to let it ride, and we're not going to trade up at all. I'm not going to trade up at all. I'm just going to let it stick with where we're at, and we're going to take somebody at 30. That's just how it's going to go. So let's get to our next user pick. Julius Moss ended up getting taken at number 4 like he was projected. Looks like the board pretty much went the way that you would expect it to go. Okay, so now the guys that we have fully scouted. We have the center, who is a round 2 to 3 guy. We have the defensive end, John Hess, who is a round 1 to 2. I might need to take this guy. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I might need to take this dude right here, John Hess. 6'4" pass rusher. He's very good athletically. He's not the fastest guy in the world. He's got A, power moves, B, awareness. He's probably not going to be like the best player that we can get, but he's the best defensive end that we can get. And he's probably the best pick that we can get right here. Even though we could take the center or the free safety who looks pretty decent. I think I'm going to take John Hess. We need another defensive end, so I'm going to take him. He's number 37 in true value. We got him at 30. He has a dev trait, so he's not going to be the worst guy in the world. It's probably only star. He's not going to be the worst player in the world, and he fills a big need. He fills a very, very big need. And now this is the pick that we got from whoever. I forget who the team was that we got. So we could take the center or the tackle here. Probably not the tackle. He's round 3 to 4 true talent, but the center probably wouldn't be bad because we could always move him to guard if we need to. Greg Stanley. Ooh, he looks very good athletically. I'm going to take Greg Stanley here. I'll take Greg Stanley, number 64 in true value. He's only normal development, but that's more offensive line depth. More offensive line depth that we didn't have already. We'll simulate to our next pick in the second round. I wonder if that free safety is still going to be there. It doesn't look like he is. No, he's gone. Okay. So now what we do is panic. I don't know what we do now. Is there a running back that happens to be pretty awesome? There is a couple speed running backs. Who's got like crazy good agility? The combination of agility and speed is not really there. That's kind of unfortunate. Okay, so now I don't really know where we go. Excuse me. I don't really know where we go from here. Maybe we just take an elite speed quarterback, an elite speed D tackle. Who's this guy? Donovan Grubbs, an elite speed D tackle with elite acceleration. That's curious enough for me to take him. He's number 41 in true value. He only has normal development, but Donovan Grubbs looks like a freak. We go to the third round, which is pick 2, because we got that from the team that we traded with earlier. Oh, I don't really know what we draft here. We could use corner, I guess. Is this guy fast? Enrique Stanley? Nah, 4.5 speed. He's not worth it. He's not really worth it, I'd say. Who's got the best awareness? Some of these offensive linemen. Connor Holcomb with pass protector. He's not the greatest athlete in the world. He's got decent pass block, but his run block's kind of bad. This is tricky. I don't really know where to go with this. Who's got the best agility? Can we find that? Where's agility? Is it not on here? Oh, I guess juke move and spin move. I'm in the wrong section for that. Juke move and spin move. A lot of quarterbacks, a couple wide receivers. There's a running back with C spin move. That's not really what I'm looking for, unfortunately. There's a running back with A stiff arm and A break tackle. Who's this guy? Daryl Bone? 4.4 speed. I'm going to take Daryl Bone. I mean, that's he's number 8 in true value. Are you kidding me? He has no dev trait, but 91 speed. Okay, what a weird pickup. That's a very weird draft pick. I guess I'm okay with that, even though he doesn't have a dev trait. Kind of sucks. We're in the same situation as the other dude, but that's a weird player. It's a very weird player. So now I guess we just go with, like, who's the freakiest of the freak athletes. This quarterback is still here. Why is he still here? Jason Walton. He's got elite speed, 4.4 speed. At quarterback is kind of crazy. I'm going to take him. We need a backup. We already have that other dude, but you never know. He has a dev trait, 91 speed at quarterback. I mean, we did lock up Drake Maye, but we could always trade him, I guess. Probably not going to do that. And this will probably be my final pick. It's the 4th round. I'll probably make this last pick, and then we'll get out of here. Let the CPU handle the rest. There's a couple B awareness linebackers, and we can always use linebacker. Rob Douglas is a 6'1 pass rusher with great speed. He doesn't look amazing, unfortunately. Does not look amazing, but what about this guy, Jaden Long? Does he look amazing? 4.4 speed. Not really. I don't really know where to go here. I don't know what the best option is. We know a couple of defensive ends true talent. They're all day 3. Is this guy worth it? Luke Falk. He's got poor speed but elite strength. A pursuit, B power moves. I'm going to grab him. He's not going to be good at all, trust me. He is not going to be good at all, but he's got 90 strength. Maybe we can move him to D tackle and he's useful. Who knows? But we're going to end the draft there, sim the rest. It was kind of a weird draft. It wasn't like the worst draft in the world, but also certainly wasn't the best draft in the world. I think we did okay. Filling some big holes. Getting that defensive end, getting John Hess is going to end up being pretty good because he has a dev trait. He's a 74 overall. 73 for Greg Stanley. Grubbs is a 74. Daryl Bone is a 76. He doesn't have a dev trait, but he's a 76 right out the gates, which is kind of awesome. Walton is a 70. They took a fullback, Donovan Seawright, who's a 78. They took him in the 7th round, pick 30. Okay, whatever. I guess that'll be useful. I do want to see how the draft was in general. How good was this draft? Was it a good draft class? There's an 82, I see. And there's only one. It was a corner, Philip Irving. He wasn't even the corner he wasn't even the player that I was looking at. It was Julius Moss. He was the guy that I was looking at. He's a 78 overall. This class was kind of bad, though. There was 182, and then the rest are kind of bad. So maybe it was a good thing that we didn't really have a great draft pick or anything, because we didn't miss out on too much. I would have liked to have that corner, obviously, but we weren't in position to get him. And I probably would have taken Julius Moss anyway over the corner, because we have good depth at corner and receiver, so it's not like we needed either of them, to be fair. But let's put these guys in the generate best lineup. And Bone is already the same overall as Blanton. I think I'm just going to start the rookie. To start the rookie over Blanton, and maybe he does better. I don't know. But we add in some decent depth. We got Stanley now backing up Montgomery, who's now starting. We have Green, who's now here, or who's still here, who has got a new contract. Straight is there. We got a decent offensive line depth. We can still use more, obviously, but decent. And then we've got Clifford. Falk is down there, back there, the guy that I drafted. I wonder if I move him to D tackle, does he like go up or anything? Because he's 6'4", 291 is very thin for a D tackle, but it is Madden, so it doesn't necessarily matter. I can always move him back. Where does he go? He ends up being a 70, so he is a higher overall. I guess I'll keep him there. We have Grubbs, but I guess I'll keep him at D tackle if he's a higher overall there. So we're still thin at defensive end. But we do add John Hess, who is now our new starting left end. That was the main goal. He can pair alongside McCullum, and hopefully Clifford will continue to grow, or maybe Grubbs will continue to grow, whoever it may be. Linebacker's a little weird, but we have Newhouse, we have Greer, and we have Gaines. So we have some okay backups. We have Kinney, who's a backup safety now. All right. Weird team. 5 years in. Made the AFC Championship this year. I think next year really is going to be our year. It has to be, really, at this point. It has to be our year. I think it will be. So we will find out in the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I do again apologize for the camera. It is what it is at this point. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Juice Club. Thank you so much. Stop by and watch. I truly appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.